Well, Saturday's Sportingbet Cox Plate was always going to be shaped this morning when the allocation of barriers took place at Moonee Valley. But no one really expected what we got when just 2 hours after drawing perfectly in Barrier 7, the ruling favourite, Atlantic Jewel, was scratched from the $3 million event. The champion mare reportedly worked well this morning at Flemington, but was later discovered to have some swelling in a tendon. Connections have decided to send her to the spelling paddock with a decision on her future to be made in coming weeks. Well, Atlantic Jewel's withdrawal has thrown open the Weight for Age Championship, and 3 horses now share the top line of betting. Puissance de Lune, he fared the best out of those at the barrier draw, coming up with gate 8, but he'll come in to get barrier 7 with Atlantic Jewel now out of the race. While Fiorente, he's got the outside barrier, and It's a Done Deal, the Kiwi star, he's drawn barrier 13.
We'll have our show and we'll have a bit of room to, make a run. We're not on the fence. We're pretty happy with him. He's fit and no excuses. You saw him go around this morning. We were happy, nice, easy work, and he had a good hit out at Caulfield last Wednesday and ran a bit of time, and we think he's spot on.
I'm delighted with my horse. I couldn't be happier. He's spot on for the race. It's a very hard race. I think it's probably as dense a field as we've come across in the last few years. It would be hard to win, but I've got the horse.
Has Blake had a ride, has he?
Yes, he did. He rode him this morning at Flemington. Worked over 1,400 metres. He was really happy with him. He hasn't been on Fiorente for about 2 months. He felt he'd really sort of strengthened up.
The most heavily represented camp in this year's Cox Plate is Caulfield Cup-winning stable Macedon Lodge. They've got last year's beaten favourite Green Moon, Seville and Mask Marvel.
I've got to say Green Moon because he's got the record on the board, but I think all 3 will run a great race.
Just on Seville and Mask Marvel, was the Cox Plate always in their plans?
Absolutely, yeah, it certainly was. And we're hopeful that they'll both run very good races. They'll certainly run better than their odds suggest.
But it wasn't all about the Cox Plate this morning. Barriers were also allocated for the weekend's other Group 1, the $1 million Sportingbet Manikato Stakes. The pre-draw favourite for this year's Manikato, the Mick Price-trained Samaretti, she fared very well coming up with Barrier 7. Lucky 9, the Hong Kong star, he'll start from Barrier 4, while Bell Sprinter and Sham Express, they've drawn Barriers 1 and 2 respectively, with Rebel Dane, the Sir Rupert Clarke Stakes winner, out in Barrier 9. Well, that's the latest on what turned out to be a sensational morning of news at Moonee Valley. Stay tuned to springracingcarnival.com.au for all your racing news.
Get back on track, Victoria. The Spring Racing Carnival. It's time for some real entertainment. Visit springracingcarnival.com.au. You know you want to.